This video is for those who have decided to get baptized, but maybe don't know where to go to, by whom to be baptized, when, and so on. I want to share with you my experience and to warn you in the same time of some tricks that the devil will use to deceive you. And very important thing that you should know is that the devil can use scriptures to deceive you, and we can see how he used scripture to tempt Jesus in the wilderness, and he obviously deceived many people, including pastors, preachers, church leaders, and so on, because there are hundreds of religions. They can't all be right, they can't all be true, right? And so you should be careful about that. So when I firstly decided to get baptized, it was quite recently actually, I had two options. In my area where I lived in, there was Seventh-day Adventist church and a Pentecostal church. I wasn't interested in the religion and in the doctrine that they professed and they believed into, but I just wanted to be baptized, you know. But I didn't know anybody in that area who could baptize me, so I had to go and try and see if they would baptize me, you know. And so I went to the Seventh-day Adventist church first, and they basically refused to baptize me. They said that I have to keep the Sabbath, I have to keep some other laws of the Old Testament in order for them to baptize me, and I also have to go to their church often. I would belong to that church if they were to baptize me, you know. And this is a very important thing to know and to be aware of, because the Bible doesn't mention stuff like that, you know. You don't have to belong to a church. You belong to Jesus. You are baptized in His name, and because you believe, you have the right to be baptized. They cannot refuse to baptize you. You know, that comes from the devil. If they refuse to baptize you, that comes from the devil. And I went to the Pentecostal church after, and after a very long discussion with the pastor there, I tried to tell him that I'm trying to follow Jesus and to let myself be guided by Him. If He shows me that I have to keep this and I have to do this, like you guys believe into, then I would very happily do that. But I don't want to believe in your doctrine or other people's doctrine, a religion or other religion. I just want to be guided by Jesus. Where He guides me, that's what I'm gonna do. But they just couldn't accept that, you know. And they said, if I want to get baptized by them, I have to go to that church and I have to belong to that church, and I have to follow the teachings of their pastors and preachers. You know, if you have a different opinion, then it's not good either. You have to basically be following them. You're starting to follow them, you're not following Jesus anymore, you know. And I'm not happy about that. At one point I said to this preacher, what stops me to be baptized right now? And he said to me, your faith. And I was like, this is interesting, because I thought that if I have faith, I should get baptized. Like the eunuch, when he said to Philip, what hinders me to be baptized right now? And Philip said, if you believe with all your heart, you can. You know, he didn't say to him, if you come to my church every week, I will baptize you. No, if you believe, and I believe in Jesus, you know, that's why I want to get baptized. So he didn't reply anything. He was just like, no, I'm sorry, your faith is not the right one. Your faith is not the right one, I can't baptize you. And so I just want to let you know that These are tricks that the devil will use. And even if it seems like you have no other option to go to be baptized and the other person to baptize you, don't worry about that, okay? Because Jesus will find a way. You don't have to feel pressured and be baptized by those people, because they're gonna come with the Bible and they're gonna say, look, it's written here, you have to do this, you have to do that. And they are pretty good at what they do, you know, and they might convince you. And this is how the devil deceives people. This is how they have their followers. I want to follow Jesus, and you should